And what I'm seeing is, well, we're well over 50,000 combined in Onslow County, which is, way more than we've had in the past. So people are eager to get to the polls. People are coming out, and people are frustrated. They're frustrated with our economy. They're frustrated with inflation. They're just frustrated, and they're ready to get to the voting booth to have their voice heard. Again, they know they shape the future, and they're coming out to vote. They know they influence the things that affect our lives. But I feel a sense of frustration from folks, and I feel a sense of eagerness to create change.
Well, we got to do something, because people are dissatisfied, and I'm not saying we have to change administrations, but we, the people, have got to get our heads wrapped around what's going on, and somehow it's up to us. It's now, the ball is in our ballpark, and I'm at bat.
Absolutely, and I think it's important for people to know that your voice has to be heard. You can't sit there and say, well, my vote doesn't count. Your vote absolutely does count. And we need your vote. We need you to come out and vote. The lines aren't very long. You could get in and get out. It's very easy. And you can make a difference in the outcome of an election if you just come out and vote. And if you're not happy with how things are, then you've got to come out and have your voice heard. It's so critical.
All right. Now, we've got a spot here. We've got one member of this team this morning. Given the fact on Sunday morning at 0200 Eastern Daylight Savings Time, the clocks are going to be rolled back to 0100, 1 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. She says, I want it to be year-round, what the equivalent of daylight savings time is. Is there a bill in the Senate or the House that would make that happen?
So there has been a bill since I've been in Senate every session.
I know it. Just knew it.
It's a rolling bill, and unfortunately, it never goes anywhere. But I agree with you. I would love for it to stay the way it is. I'm not eager for it to get dark at 5 o'clock.
But of course, it gets dark here on the coast at 5 o'clock. One of our friends in here who's a Jacksonville High Cardinal alumni, and he lives down in the Miami area now. And as he points out, since he visits the western part of North Carolina on a regular basis, the sun time there is different than it is 400 miles to the east here in Onslow County. So it would be darker later in the morning.
Later.
Yeah, sun would come up later there than it comes up here.
Well, I could tell you right now, and I'll do it publicly. If it comes up for a vote, I'm voting for it.
Okay.
Thank you.
Well, listen, how do we get it to the floor?
I think, as I said, it's an ongoing bill that rolls, but they know that even if we pass it, it wouldn't get federal approval. So I think it's a moot point.
Well, can't an individual state, as Arizona and Alaska, and there may be one more, but those individual states, they keep it whatever the standard time that they've chosen year round.
Yeah, the issue with it, and leadership just won't let it get to the floor.
I gotcha. So that's the way it goes. Predictions for let's go ahead with the governor's race here.
Well, the polls, that are indicators of what's going on. We don't have a great feeling for it, but what I can tell you is from being at the polls, there's a lot of conservative voting going on. We feel good. Locally, I think certainly Mark Robinson will win Onslow County. Mm-hmm. Statewide, we look at the polls, Trump being up 2 to 3 points. Of course, there's always a margin of error on most polls, +4, -4. So you can't take that to complete heart. But statewide, we think that the polls are indicating that in the governor's race that Mark Robinson's down some points. But again, there's a margin of error. We're going to keep pushing the red ticket all the way until the end of Tuesday and see what the outcome is.
Okay. Mike, go to work. Go ahead out there and talk to the people. I know you're probably going to hit all 5 locations today, right?
Yeah, I've been trying to, I've been trying to balance. So I've been doing a lot of time at the Commons because that's one of the higher polling places, but I've been at the Board of Elections and some of the others. But today I'm going to try to dedicate all day. So I will probably do a few hours at each station and try to get around the whole county. People ask me, why are you here? I mean, it's such a wonderful opportunity for me to see so many supporters that I don't get to see on a normal everyday basis, and to shake hands and to just chat with so many people that I'm familiar with. So it's a great opportunity to be out there. And I've always been at the polls, no matter whether I ran unopposed or not. Right. And so I do enjoy that part. And again, thank y'all for what you do every day to educate our people and to have some great discussions and having me on occasionally.
Yeah, we appreciate it. You're welcome anytime. One of the things too, I think amongst us in here during this entire time, I did not know you had even a Democrat running against you in this race. I have not seen any publicity. And I kept wondering, I said, well, why is that Lazar guy spending all this money with signs and ads and all this sort of good stuff out there? And then I found out you actually had a Democrat running against you.
I do. There is a Democrat, and I don't take anything for granted. I always run like I need to, because it is an honor to serve, and I never want to take that for granted. And I do want to win. And so I'm going to do my part.
Okay.
I do have one thing to say. Senator Lazar was just appointed as co-chair of the Joint Legislative Oversight Committee on Unemployment Insurance.
Yeah, you beat me to the punch on that one. Good.
Yes, thank you.
Yes, we're going to be dealing with some unemployment issues and sort of digging down into the state's unemployment system. So you'll be hearing more about that in the future. And it's an honor for Senator Berger to have confidence in me to appoint me.
Well, that was good. Does unemployment count when you're retired and you're not working anywhere? Can I get some help there?
Well, I don't think so. But,
that's the way it
is. If there is a loophole, I will certainly look at it.
That would be good.
Thank you, sir. In other news, he's part of the Senate's passage of the second major relief package of $644 million to support the Hurricane Helene recovery efforts. So thank you for that.
And I'll just say one thing about that that's interesting, or should be interesting to folks. With that first package, we're just under $1 billion. So now our what I will call our savings account is down to about 3.6 billion, something like that.
Ooh, okay.
The governor comes out with almost a $4 billion package that he wants us to spend, but in the last budget cycle, he wanted us to spend about $3 billion out of our reserves. So I'm wondering just what that thought process is. Had we spent that money that he wanted us to spend, we would be negative right now.
That's true.
Very
true.
And that's where we found ourselves, prior to 2011. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to deplete our savings account, and we're going to be ready for disasters and things that happen unexpectedly.
Because there's a really good possibility any given year up through the end of November that we could be in the same position that the folks in Western North Carolina are in now. It happened October 15th, 1954. I was alive and remember it.
Wow.
Storm of the century.
Well, if y'all remember, Bertha and Fran were almost back to back.
Yes, they were like 2 weeks apart, two and a half weeks. Yes.
We can get them, and it's happened before. All right, Michael, sounds good. Be safe out there.
Thank you. Have a great day, and thank you so much.
Yeah, you too. Senator Mike Lazar, representing Onslow County in the North Carolina Senate. We'll take a final break. We'll be right back. You're live and local Real Talk.
I am Robin Knapp, the current Vice Chairman of the Onslow County Board of Commissioners. I would appreciate your vote on November 5th. I am known to speak my mind candidly, truthfully, and bluntly on issues that affect everyone within our county, regardless of political affiliation, religious beliefs, gender, race. I'm not afraid to tackle tough issues like lowering our tax rate and appropriate funding for our EMS, firefighters, public safety, mental health, and domestic abuse issues. I fully support our county employees, and I feel this is a staff that is the glue that holds Oslo County together. I have shown strong and consistent leadership and will not be influenced by others, and I will vote my conscience, always in the best interest of our citizens and not for a particular group, regardless of rhetoric. I love Onslow County and her citizens, and I appreciate your vote and support. May God bless America, Onslow County, and all of you. Vote to re-elect Robin Knapp for commissioner, a voice for the citizens. Paid for by the committee to re-elect Robin Knapp.
All right, we're back, and pardon the little interruption that I did during that little commercial break there. I'll make it up to Robin. I was mentioning because I was told by a gentleman in here that there are a couple of things down there in the Caribbean, the Caribbean Sea, as they call it. Some people do.
Caribbean.
Actually, there are 3 X's out there.
Yes. That's what I'm
There's
looking
one
at
in the
right now.
Caribbean, headed for the Gulf of Mexico, potentially. There's one right over, looks like the island of Puerto Rico in that general area. And then there's one up in the North Atlantic, which is going to go nowhere.
Bye-bye.
I haven't seen any X's in quite some time.
I know it. We've been checking most every
We'll talk
day.
about the one over yonder.
Over yonder.
400 miles west of the western Azores, producing limited shower activity. Some subtropical development is possible, and not a whole lot likely. So we 10% over the next 7 days, so it'll probably get into cold water and stay there. Now the one down there, the islands, let's see, producing a large area of showers and thunderstorms over portions of the greater Antilles and the adjacent waters of the Atlantic and the northeastern Caribbean. Slow development is possible. 10% over the next 7 days. So it's not in really waters that are very conducive this time of year for a whole lot of development. It can happen. Hurricane season goes through the end of the month. Now the one down there a little bit further, down off of Central America, in the Caribbean, in the Western Caribbean. It's a low pressure area now, likely to develop it over the southwestern Caribbean Sea during the next couple of days, 70% over the next 7 days. This is one to watch. This is the kind of nasty stuff that can move up into the Gulf of Mexico. We just have to wait and see. And also, let's see where it says if there's any direction. They haven't formed yet. So until they actually start twirling in a direction, they don't have a real direction. They can move, generally speaking, in one direction or another. They call it drifting, going northward or northwestward over the central or western Caribbean Sea is a possibility. A tropical depression could form by over the weekend or by early next week, just in time for voting day. So maybe
what?
Nothing. I just see.
Get out there and
I was
early
just
vote.
seeing if you're paying any attention.
Get
whatsoever.
out there and early vote. I'm
Yes.
telling you.
Anyway,
We had a hurricane one time during early voting. Remember that?
Yeah. No. Yes. But
Fortunately, it kind of like
we're not going to have one
did
this
nothing.
time. It's not going to happen here.
Right.
So early voting ends tomorrow at 3:00. You'll have to hurry.
It's true. It's
So,
true.
Drew, what are your plans? You're going to mosey on back down to South Florida?
Yep, we're going home Sunday.
We got a homecoming night tonight, though.
Yep, my son's running for commissioner
Oh, really?
in the little town he's living in, and his election's Tuesday. So we're going to watch and the grandchildren are off. They let the kids out of school for election day. So we're going to watch. We're going to watch the grandchildren while they go down and work the polls.
Kids
Why don't
get
they
out
let
of
the kids with
school for election
Why don't they
day?
take the grandchildren with them? Let them work the polls.
3, 4, and 6.
Yeah, that would just generate a lot of votes right there.
The 2 boys can break bowling balls.
Really? Oh my goodness. Well, that's cool. He's running for what? Town commissioner or something?
City commissioner.
City commissioner.
Yeah.
And well, that's good. Good luck to him. Why does he want to do this? Did he fall on
Wants
his
to make
head
a
or something?
difference in a little town.
Oh, I didn't know whether he fell on his head or not.
Yeah.
Tell me about his occupation.
He's a fire lieutenant for the city of Miami.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that kind of runs in the blood there, huh?
Yeah, he's starting to study for the captain's test.
Uh-huh. So lieutenant, he's way up there already.
Yeah.
So you retired how many years ago now?
35. Well, I retired 17 years ago. But I was on for 35 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. So if you see smoke coming from a house as you're driving down the highway, what do you do?
You know, the
Call 911.
instinct, you got to stop and at least make sure everybody's out of it.
Some habits that you have forever and ever and ever are impossible to get rid of, y'all. I will tell you for a fact. That's just the way it happens. In fact, I was headed over to get gasoline on Western Boulevard a couple of days ago. There was a big, huge plume of smoke coming from on the other end, towards the Gum Branch end of Western Boulevard. It was on Tuesday, whatever day it was. So I did pull over and I turned my radio on so that I could take a look-see and see what was going on.
What was going on?
And I don't know. The radio, I'm going to guess it was just somebody set fire just to.
You can't talk about, something was on fire and then say, I don't know what it was.
It wasn't important.
You're going to force me to go to Facebook and get 20 different versions.
Well, I listened to the radio coming from the guys who man this kind of stuff, and they did not dispatch anyone to it. So it's probably somebody set fire to a pile of trash somewhere to get rid of it.
Well, that's the difference between up here and down there. In Miami, there is no open burning allowed.
Well,
so you see smoke, you go to it.
This was in the county too, so they got open burning, and the
Right.
county is allowed.
Right.
And in certain conditions, if you're building a road or you're doing whatever, you can burn the tree stumps and all the debris that's there too. That's legal for the state to do it.
Yeah.
So
Right. If you're on 24 and you're heading in the area of the Midway Park housing, I will tell you that traffic is backed up from an accident. It seems to be
No,
a lot
from a
right
what?
there. From a wreck.
there's no such thing as an
I
accident.
know. I just have to learn to quit saying that.
They're called wreck reports, not accident reports.
You talk about craziness. I was on the bypass a couple days ago, and it was yesterday, and this motorcyclist, man, he was hauling, and he was weaving in and out of lanes. He was like laying on his side. I'm just like, whew. I'm gonna tell you what, that scares me when I see that, because I'm afraid I'm going to get up a little further up the road and find them laying on it.
Sure, do you have a lot of issues down in South Florida with people and they're talking on cell phone, not talking so much, but punching up cell phones on texting and driving?
My biggest pet, is sitting at a traffic light and the guy in front of you is texting on his phone and the light changes. And it always seems like he'll get going and the light will change and I get stuck because he's sat there too long.
You've been listening to me because that's one of my pet peeves around here. And if that vehicle in front of you does not move, then the light senses no movement of traffic and it will turn back the other way quickly. And then suddenly he speeds up and he gets through on a yellow light or a pink light, as we call them. And then I'm stuck.
Being semi-retired now, I don't get on the expressways during rush hour too much. But in the old days when I was going to work and you pull up alongside of a car and she's got a cell phone on her shoulder and putting her eye makeup on while she's driving 55 miles an hour, it's just scary. I mean,
well, sometimes these days you can't tell really whether that's a woman or it could be a man doing the same thing, right?
Could be.
Or a former man, whatever. See, I'm not politically correct here at all.
Neither am I.
So I can't run for office. Maybe I will. Is there a politically incorrect party in North Carolina yet? Maybe I could form one.
You could say that about any party.
Yeah, well, I
Tell you the truth,
could.
with this election anyway.
I could just form a politically incorrect party, get on the ballot.
You remember, I'm just deplorable garbage, so.
Deplorable floating garbage.
Deplorable.
Deplorable, yes. Mm-hmm.
Deplorable floating garbage.
Because I'm a Republican, I'm a deplorable garbage.
I just
Floating about.
What kind of impact do you think things like that have with all the publicity about it? Do you think that actually sways
No.
anybody at the very end?
People, when they go to the polls, they know who they're voting for, and you can say whatever you want to. You can come out and say this person committed this 30 years ago. It's not going to change their mind. They're going in there and they're voting for who they think can change this economy.
Well, I think here in North Carolina, up until about 2 months ago,
Right.
I believe there would have been a Republican governor elected this time.
That's
So
true.
some stuff that came out about him that, and then he wouldn't walk it back. He would not defend it. He wouldn't say anything about it. He just sort of went
Right.
and pulled the turtle routine and hid.
But you have
And-
to remember, we've only had one Republican governor for 4 years in the last 32 years. So our governor stats usually run towards the Democratic candidate.
Uh-huh.
Now, I will say that I think at one time the Republican candidate could have been elected governor, but he's down by double digits. And with all the stuff that keeps coming out, and we talked about this before the primary. After the primary, when it came close to election day, there was going to be a lot of stuff put out. And that's exactly what happened.
Yeah, well, the timing was great for them.
Yes. I
And
mean,
of course,
they
the-
played the political game.
The Democrat who's running for that top spot right now is the Attorney General, and he has access to anything that he wants to have access to about
That's right.
anybody.
That's right.
So
It is what it is. That's how the political games get started. That's how they're played.
I'm really surprised that you Republicans did not vet this a little bit better than you did. I'm sorry
I
to
can't
that.
say that now because when Lieutenant Governor Robinson first came out and started making, this is before he even became Lieutenant Governor. I mean, his speeches, everything he did just captivated people.
Mhm.
I mean, you've been there. We'd go to some of his things and he would get up to speak. You felt like you've been to church.
Yeah.
I mean, it was really
It
great.
sounded great.
It's just like, I mean, who's going to say, oh, I really like that guy. Let me start vetting him. Let me go back 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago to see if he's done something.
And honestly, when I was there,
Right.
it sounded too good to be true.
Well, the only problem I had was that the speeches were fantastic. Like I said, you felt like you'd been to church. But there was no substance as far as this is what I've done and this is what I plan to
Nope.
do. But you see that a lot with a lot of candidates, not
Yeah.
just him. There's a lot of candidates.
Yeah. So I it's just things that the voters need to learn.
On a
And,
personal note, I like him and I just love his wife. She's just fantastic.
Mhm.
But I really do predict we're going to see a Democratic governor elected.
we will see how it turns out.
Yes, yeah, you never know.
DeSantis has got 2 more years.
Yep.
Anybody
I like
in
him.
his behind him that would stand out as a possibility?
If there is, we haven't heard anything about him. I mean,
Or when
DeSantis just is such vocal out there. I mean, I think
he's stealing all the headlines.
it'd be right, and he's constantly on the news with a press conference here and there and whatever. He's handled the job very well, and when those hurricanes hit, he did a hell of a job.
Yes, he
up front.
did.
He got ahead of the storms.
He did such a good job that staged everything that when it hit Western North Carolina, he packed up people from Florida and sent them up there to help because we didn't need them all. Our team in Miami went out and they came back after 4 days. I mean, it just to the West Coast, they were prepared. He staged food, water, and everything in Orlando, so they could go from there. You can go either way.
Up, down, or sideways. Yeah.
I mean, he's a hell of an organizer. He really is. Like I say, I wish he could run for another term.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we'll have to see. I mean, he catches a lot of grief from the liberal side across the country. I mean, I know there's already probably an effort being mounted to counteract anything that he wants to do in 2020, whatever year it is, 2028. But I suspect that he's going to be at least knocking on the door.
Yeah, I think he's going to run again. I think Haley's going to run again.
Yeah.
Right.
You got a few of them out there that are going to put their feet back in it, but when they first started, a lot of them looked hell. I thought Christie looked good when he first started, and he
faltered,
self-destructed in no time at all.
Excuse me.
But we'll see.
Yeah, he's still got that Bridgegate thing to worry about, which he took credit for, or blame for.
Yeah,
finally admitted it. Should have done it right up front.
It says he'll be required to leave office in
this-
2027.
listen to the speeches. Vance says the right things too.
Right.
I just don't think he has enough experience yet.
No, he doesn't. No, he's getting a lot of experience right now.
Yeah.
And of course, if Trump pulls this one out, he probably could be the front runner if he chooses to be that way. If Trump pulls it out, and Trump doesn't do anything, even if Trump is elected and does some stupid stuff like payback or whatever, if he carries through on some of the threats that he's made or that he supposedly made, going after political enemies.
There was an article in the Miami paper yesterday where they're talking about if he follows through, there could be as many as 1 million people deported from Florida alone.
Ooh,
That'll give you more room.
they're
having trouble getting people to work down there now. I mean, every time you go any place, there's a sign on the door, "We need help." I mean, people down there are paying sign-in bonuses for people to come to work.
We got that here.
Yeah.
And when they're not looking for the illegals to work or anything like that, it's just people are not wanting to work since the pandemic.
Yep.
Been a real problem.
True.
People got too much extra money from the pandemic.
True.
They figured out, hey, maybe I can just live off the government. I don't have to work.
I think they were getting more money to stay at home and getting it off the government than I was getting in retirement. Oh my God.
Oh, well,
That wasn't wrong. I didn't get any of that money.
I didn't either.
Well, we all got the what was it? The stipends.
I got a coupon to McDonald's and I don't go there.
Yeah, I got the one payment they sent everybody and
Yes.
stuff. But if that little bit payment they sent out really affected your standard of living, you were hurting.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, I agree with that. I remember the last one they sent out. Mine got put into the wrong checking account and somebody else's. It took 9 months to get that straightened out.
Really?
And it was just a fact that it was mine. And I mean, if they had not sent it at all, I could deal with that. But putting it in somebody else's account,
And did they spend it?
I don't know if they did or not. But it took me 9 months to get it straightened out, all because
You
the
could've
first
given
person.
birth.
Because the first couple people I talked to at the bank were wrong in what they told me. And when I finally went in there one day and got the right person, it was fixed within 5 hours. I'm like, okay.
Where were you when I first came in? That's what you should be asking.
Yeah, really.
Okay, you're going to be around till Sunday?
Sunday morning.
Wonderful.
So you'll be at the ball game tonight?
Yep.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna ride with a Raven. We pick you up.
Oh,
We're going to have a foursome this time.
ooh, okay. All right, that sounds great.
Oh, I don't know who's going to ride in the trailer, but somebody's going to ride in the trailer.
Well, I can always drive if need
No,
be.
I got a trailer. We'd have to ride in your pickup through back. I don't want to do that either.
I mean, I can meet you there.
No, we got one vehicle.
I could
It's a
just
lot
actually
easier.
walk over there.
That's the only reason I'm coming. I'm staying out that way. But
Yeah.
parking I think is gonna be a problem.
Uh-huh. We're going to go.
We have secrets to that, don't we?
Don't reveal it over the air.
No, I would never.
Yeah,
But we have
I'm going to give you the
secrets.
secret. First of all, for you guys, just don't even bother going onto the campus. Park across the street
Right.
where all the people are not going to be in that shopping complex area.
Right.
There's going to be plenty of spaces over there. So you all park over there.
Well, I'm lucky enough. My brother is like 2-3 houses right down from the high school. So I can always park in front of his house and just walk over.
Yeah, but if I tried that, I'd get towed
Yes.
or he'd flat
No,
my tires.
we'll save you a spot, but we have a secret to the parking,
I've
and
got one that takes a
We
lot less
prefer-
time to walk.
we prefer to keep it quiet.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Yeah, we
Anyway,
park underneath the bleachers.
Yeah.
We just sneak in through the back gate and we park underneath
You're
the bleachers.
telling secrets
They
now.
can never see us under the bleachers. Nobody looks down.
Well, good luck to all the high schools tonight. I hope
Especially
they all
one.
do well.
No,
Well, I'm talking about our high schools here.
you hope all but one does well.
Oh, that's right. Northside's one of
There you
ours
go.
too.
Come on, girl.
Well,
Come on.
good luck to Northside. I'm sorry you're going to get pounded tonight.
Northside, there's always next year.
But good luck to all our.
You played football, isn't that what the
Teams.
coaches said a lot of times? Just wait till next year.
Just wait till next year. Now, see, in Miami, we're used to about after the third or fourth game. Well, maybe next year.
Yeah. So that's already set, carved in stone by the third or fourth game, huh?
Right.
Yeah, a lot of times you can figure that way too. Okay, Drew, thanks for coming in and getting up early.
problem.
Did your wife throw you out of bed this morning? Is that the reason you
No.
got here?
No,
You got up on your own?
She just rolled over.
Oh, okay. I was thinking maybe
Okay.
you bring Bailey.
Do I?
I was hoping you bring Bailey with you this morning.
Away from my wife? That wasn't happening.
Well, you could have brought your wife too. Bailey's a little dog. He's about 2 pounds and 4 ounces.
She
Oh,
weighs 4 pounds.
4 pounds.
what kind of dog is she?
Yorkie
Oh my
A
goodness,
miniature
they're so
something.
cute.
I mean, it's like
runt.
it's.
I want another
She
Chihuahua.
likes me.
Jack needs company, and I want a little Chihuahua.
Bailey likes me.
She tolerated you. She doesn't like anybody that's not my wife. She doesn't
Well-
even come to me.
She liked
Anyway.
me. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
There you go. I'll back you. Okay, don't forget to turn your clocks back Sunday morning, 2 a.m. I'm Skyping you to see if you're up.
Stay up until 2 and set your clocks back.
Right. And so, anyway, other than that, everyone have a great weekend. It's going
You
to be
got
a
it.
beautiful weekend.
Yep, it'll be a good weekend after tonight,
Yes.
especially.
And happy 1st of November. We didn't mention that, but happy 1st of November. And this is the month known as the Veterans Month.
Next weekend, we'll talk about what we're
That's
going to be
right.
doing then.
We've got the Veterans Parade coming up and a lot of services for the Veterans Day.
Lots of cool stuff happening.
So, and wreaths across America, you need to buy your wreath
And get your green lights ready.
and get your green lights ready. We have ours right here. We just
We need
need
a bright
some
one.
batteries.
I got batteries. We need a brighter light.
Well, I can bring a regular green light bulb.
I can find a place to put
We
it.
can put a little small lamp somewhere. We'll work it out. Anyway, honor your
I got
veterans.
some 600-watt lights back there. We can blind you
Yes.
with a green.
Okay.
You all green on the
We
screen.
all look like Martians.
We'll have our own green screen.
Yeah, our faces.
Yes.
All right, we guys have a great weekend. Be safe out there, for God's sakes.
Go out and vote.
Leave early. If you're planning to vote at all, and you would like to vote early, you've got today until 7:30.
That's
You've
right.
got tomorrow from 8 until 3 o'clock. If you don't vote by then Tuesday, polls open at 6:30 in the morning. And then you've got until 7:30 in the evening. And prepare to stand in a long line if you wait until then.
Well, I'll be out there Tuesday for about 3 hours working for my favorite senator. So
I will be somewhere doing something. Probably. Have a great rest of your day. Have a great weekend. We'll see you on Monday. You're live on Local Real Talk. Right here on, I look at the dog again. Right here on Facebook and YouTube, soon to be on an internet radio station. We're working on it. It's almost here. We just